as the Mackinac Policy Conference begins.
Yeah, it begins tomorrow and runs through Friday morning. And during the week, there are many speeches, many important panel discussions, as well as some unexpected announcements by state leaders. The final day of the conference will also feature a Detroit mayoral debate of key candidates on Thursday night. And Jason Colthorpe will be there covering the conference and will have live reports for us during our newscast and also on Local 4 Plus all week.
And we're back at 5:30 with stories from Plymouth and Troy. Also, are you getting ready for the first cookout of the season? We're helping you decide if your grill is good to go for another summer.
And remembering those who fought for our freedom, the special project concerning World War II veterans coinciding with a Memorial Day parade today in Plymouth.
And as we get you out the door on this Memorial Day, expect plenty of sunshine. You can already
15% off. I need.
Available at Meijer.
Recognize it is, of course.
Get up and go with Detroit's favorite station for morning news with Rhonda Walker, Jason Colthorpe. The forecast to plan your day with forewarned meteorologist Ashley Barrissey. Time-saver traffic with former police officer Darnell Blackburn. And live reports from Kim DiGiulio, Nick Monticelli, and Priya Mann. Expect more from Local 4 News.
Remember and recognize it is, of course, today Memorial Day, the time our nation pauses to honor the men and women who gave the ultimate sacrifice in our service to our nation.
And to mark the holiday, there are special events happening all across the metro area this morning. If you're heading to a parade or possibly a picnic or another celebration, it's the final day of movement today as well in downtown Detroit. Ashley is timing out the temperatures, and they appear to be heading in the right direction.
For goodness, for once.
It's been kind of chilly all weekend long. If you've been having some outdoor plans, you've likely had
plenty of sunshine. And we have 40s, 46.
Ashley, thank you. On this Memorial Day.
And so we will be rising into the 70s today. If you are heading out to one of the Memorial Day parades, whether you're heading out to Dearborn, Novi, Northville, you can plan for those temperatures to be rising through the 60s midday and getting into the low 70s this afternoon. And so we will hold on to sunshine with just a few clouds mixing in throughout the afternoon hours, but it is a dry Memorial Day. And then we will be tracking those rain chances for you coming up in your full forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, Ashley, thank you. On this Memorial Day, a special salute to World War II veterans will be one of the highlights of the parade in Plymouth.
Yeah, some young people in the community have a special connection to the project and will march in the parade. Here's a quick look at the film.
Became more appreciative of not just my dad, but all of them. And to look back to the days that my dad was a pilot, sitting in the cockpit of an F-6F Hellcat, flying off USS Wasp in the South Pacific at the age of 23 and 24. Are you kidding me?
We've reaped the benefits of what they did for us, for our country, for so many years. They did what they needed to do. They protected our country. And we need that to continue.
Just incredible. Wow.
Yeah.
And now the documentary includes interviews with 25 veterans, family members, and many others who shared the impact of World War II on their lives. They will debut later this year.
What a great way to remember, and also a history lesson for those that put this together. J. Scott Smith joins us now at Veterans Memorial Park in Plymouth, where that parade is going to finish up today. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, everyone. And this parade is going to be indeed doubly special. As mentioned, it's going to be a part of the filming of a documentary called A Salute to Our World War II Generation. And actually standing with me right now is that documentary's producer and director, Mark Shalom. So, Mark, first off, good morning.
Good morning.
So today, tell us a little bit about this documentary that you've been filming. It's called, you got it right here on the shirt, A Salute to Our World War II Generation, Let Us Not Forget. Tell us more about this documentary.
Sure. So unlike most other documentaries that have been about World War II, I wanted something that was really a tribute to the veterans who had served our great nation. And it started several years ago at this very spot when I heard 6 local World War II veterans who spoke on behalf of their service in the country. So I felt as a filmmaker, it was my duty to really honor those folks.
Now, also part of this today, there's going to be 12 high school students from Canton High School who in their history class, and Rhonda mentioned history, part of their history class is actually kind of tied into this documentary. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. So we wanted to add an educational element to the component of the film. And a few months ago, we went and presented the idea to the Plymouth Canton Community School System about this. And we had a high school history teacher who was very involved in this. And we decided we wanted to, basically assign them a project where they would research a World War II veteran. We tried to keep them a little bit more local. And we worked very intimately with the students over the last couple months where they were learning as much as they could about them, the theater that they served in, and the war itself. So we found that this has been truly instrumental in helping them understand the value of the service that these men put forth, and the ladies, of course.
And what have you seen from the kids as they've been working on this project?
Well, from day one, we weren't 100% sure of where this was going, but through that journey of working with them in the class and also taking them on a field trip. So we took them to Great Lakes National Cemetery in Holly, as well as Frankenmuth's Michigan's Heroes Museum, and we watched a transformation over the course of the last couple of months that's been truly inspiring for us as well. So much that the teacher, to our understanding, plans to run this same project year after year moving forward.
And we'll actually be speaking with that teacher and those students coming up in the next hour here on Local 4. And remember, today, again, this parade gets started out here in Plymouth at 9 a.m., and it will be a part of the filming for the documentary. As mentioned, a salute to our World War II generation. Let us not forget. We're live in Plymouth on this Memorial Day. I'm Jay Scott Smith for Local 4.
Wow, what a life-changing experience, too, for those young people.
Oh, just incredible, because it's one thing to write down the story, but the fact they had the photos, some film, the newspaper clippings, just... Oh.
And hearing from the families, just incredible. We'll be hearing from that history teacher and more on the events happening there with Jay and his next update coming up in our next hour. And happening today over in Troy, the annual World War I Polar Bear Memorial Service at Whitechapel Cemetery. That gets underway at 11 o'clock this morning, right in the front of the Polar Bear Monument. The ceremony honors soldiers known as Polar Bear. A special Marine unit provides memorial services.
It's a physically and
This is $65.
Until 8 p.m. Tickets are $10, or we can buy them online for $7. Kids under 10 get in for free. The festival is at 12 Mile Crossing at Fountain Walk Mall.
Don't worry if you are Googling last-minute recipes or how to fire up the grill. Ahead at 6:30, we are joined live with a chef to help you grill like a pro.
Ooh, and I'm hungry, too. Plus, Jay Scott Smith is live in Plymouth, where students are getting a deeper look at what Memorial Day means. Hey, Jay.
Yes, good morning, everybody. And coming up later on this morning, the Memorial Day Parade here in Plymouth is also going to be a part of filming of a special documentary, and it will involve students at Canton High School. We'll have more coming up.
Local 4 News is brought to you by just $15 only for
ever. It's real dental insurance that's real affordable. Well,
to the beach. Any reason is a good reason.
It's our first trip without the kids.
Festival is taking place, and the sun is shining for all of the Memorial Day parades this morning as well. It's just not pool, beach, or boat weather just yet, with temperatures hovering in the upper 40s right now. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for starting off your morning with us here on your Memorial Day. I'm Rhonda Walker.
And I'm Shantae Passmore. Jason, of course, has the day off, and it is a beautiful start, as we just saw from the right there, but a chilly start to Memorial Day.
Yeah, we're saying like not exactly swimsuit weather, more like jackets, but we have all the parades taking place this morning, Ashley, and thankfully, it's dry.
Yeah, I think there's a cruise ship going by the Detroit River right now if you look down by you. Chances for rain will return by the middle of this week, which means we have a rain-free Memorial. These parades kick off at 9, 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Ashley, thank you. Today, many families are going to
60 degrees. So we will be into the 50s and 60s through the morning, getting into the low 70s by the time we hit the afternoon hours. Slightly warmer temperatures for today, paired with more sun than clouds. Now here's a little sneak peek at the next few days, rounding out the rest of the work week. That little dip in temperatures arrives come Wednesday and Thursday with those rain chances, but we do rebound back in the 70s Friday, and we're going to take that into the upcoming weekend. We'll give you an hour-by-hour look at those rain chances coming up.
All right, Ashley, thank you. Today, many families are going to be heading out to attend Memorial Day parades and ceremonies all across the Metro Detroit area. A day to reflect on what this day truly means and the sacrifices made for our country.
Yeah, and a new documentary shining a light on local high school students learning lessons about wartime.
Mr. Sales. Yeah. My grandfather's buried here. He was a paratrooper in the Korean War. Are you able to find him?
Yeah. And I want you to take time to reflect on the sacrifice that these veterans have made for their country.
Thanks for always being there for me, man.
This is a powerful documentary, and it also shows students visiting the Great Lakes National Cemetery as the younger generation is learning and reflecting on the contributions of our American heroes, sometimes members of their own family.
Yeah, just a beautiful tribute when you think about it. And Local 4's J. Scott Smith is in Plymouth this morning, where some of the students in the documentary will be walking in the Memorial Day parade.
Yes, good morning, everybody. And they're going to be a part of this documentary, which is, of course, a salute to our World War II generation. And I'm joined right now by both the teacher who is a part of the project at Canton High School. This is Christopher Belch, and also Plymouth High School student Jack Haas. I'm going to start with Christopher. And so tell us a little bit about how this project came together and what's been like working with this documentary.
The project came together because partly my grandfather, John Gonsier, he served in World War II, and he would always tell me stories about the war that were vastly different than anything that I ever read in a history book. And so I always wanted my students to have that experience. So started doing the Michigan history thing, started putting together a project where students could research things from a much more personal point of view. And eventually we found out Mark was doing kind of the same thing for the film, and he got in contact with our district, got in contact with me, and the rest is history.
And Jack, you actually have joined, as you join us today, you have a picture of U.S. Army soldier Hank Gardner. Tell us what you've learned about Hank.
So, you've always heard stories about the greatest generation. So when I thought it was really interesting taking this project into kind of a deep dive into veterans as a whole, because you always hear stories about how veterans really made our country into what it is today, which they did. And so I thought it was really important to learn focus on the individual experiences of a veteran. And I think that's one thing the history books miss, is that you don't necessarily see the individual aspects of the human aspects, the different sides of who he was and who many veterans were when they were fighting in World War II. And I thought it was very valuable experiencing and learning that this is so much more deeper than just a soldier. It's a human being, and they've got a story and a life and so many more things that you can look into.
And you've even gotten a chance to meet one of Hank's family members too.
Yes, I've met Beth. She's wonderful. She always told me stories about her father and how wonderful he was as a human being, and he was a very humble man, very, very good man too. She always said that he was a wonderful father, one of the best fathers you could have ever asked for. So it was really, really enlightening to learn about him.
And Christopher, this whole project has given kids like Jack a chance to really get to understand what the sacrifices that were made by these soldiers. When you think about all the work that's been done to put this together, how were you feeling knowing that today to be a part of the parade and knowing that this documentary is going to feature a lot of your kids?
It is so rewarding. I mean, to tell the stories of the greatest generation. And, you know, as a teacher, you always hope your students are going to get it. You always hope that they're going to make that deep connection about how ordinary people do extraordinary things. And, you know, sometimes you wonder, do they get it? Are they getting it? And at the end of this project, as I've seen the students progress from day one when it was just a project on a sheet of paper to the last day when they were giving their presentations and they're meeting with family members and the emotions and the feelings, it certainly was everything that a teacher could dream of with a student project.
So these students are going to be marching in this parade that gets going this morning at 9 a.m. out here in Plymouth. It's going to feature these students from Plymouth and Canton High Schools honoring vets such as Hank and so many others. We are live in Plymouth. I'm Jay Scott Smith for Local 4. Let's go back to the studio with Shantae and Rhonda.
Aw, thank you, Jay. And what a great learning experience for all the students that took place in that. I mean, you think of a history class, but that is something that'll be life-changing.
Bringing it to life. And I was just thinking as we were watching Jay interview, there's something special and beautiful about watching the next generation learn about our history. And for some people, this is, you know, embedded into their family history.
Right. Actually going back and going to the tomb of one of your loved ones that maybe you never even met.
Very powerful. Well, Memorial Day parades and ceremonies are happening today all around the metro, of course. In Troy, there will be a memorial service at Whitechapel Cemetery. It starts at 11 this morning in front of the Polar Bear.
Here, save your marriage. It's Amy's brother, Russell. He owns a comic book shop. He's got cards there.
Russell's vintage